Suns and Raptors.
Well, Suns, I got them.
No Kawhi in this one. Valanciunas still got the bad hand.
Oh, got the sweet one time, Ernie.
Oh, yeah, he did. It was nice.
Nice move.
Oh, I'll tell you what, man. We're going to the Great North for the Eastern Conference Finals this year.
I agree with you.
Toronto.
Shout out to my boy Rod Black and my girl Chris Simpson. I can't wait to get up to Canada. Leo Robbins, too.
Think we going to Toronto?
57-49 at the half.
And I miss you, John Saunders.
Devin Booker for
I miss
three.
John Saunders, one of the great people ever.
No doubt.
Good pass.
Here's Mikal Bridges for the corner three, and then Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre's played well since the move from Washington.
They got a lot of the same pieces, though, in Phoenix, though. They got a.
Well, I wish I was on cable. When you said pieces, I was going to tell you what they got pieces of.
Oh, my.
Josh Jackson going to get kicked out of the game. Got 2 technicals in the fourth quarter.
Well, what did he think was going to happen then? Did he think he'd not foul him?
Yeah, when you're going to push a guy, Chris Boucher, when he's in midair.
Josh Jackson, I had high hopes for him. I'm worried now.
Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry, an All-Star?
Yeah. I think so.
Team with the best record?
Dude, they got the best record
So what?
in the East.
So what, man? All-Star singular. You as a player. Man.
Second in the league in assists.
Cut it out.
I think Kyle Lowry's an all-star, Shaq. Stop being a hater.
I'm not being a You're sad.
I mean, what else you got to do? Second in the league in assists. Your team's first in the league.
Yeah.
Like,
That's enough. There's Booker again.
Must have been a joy to coach.
Sure was. That's why I was a bad mofo, unlike you two over there.
Serge Ibaka there.
why you don't throw me in?
Why you like
Now look at this game tied at 109.
Yo, that's what I'm talking
And
about.
look at Pascal Siakam.
Hey, listen, Ernie, he might be the most improved player in the NBA. He's a hell of a player.
Or the best developed. How about that?
Yeah. And listen, Shaq, just for the record,
He an all-star too? He's got an all-star too? Their team got the best
Better
record.
quit hating on
He
me.
might be. That's what they talking about.
You better quit hating on me and Kenny. Between the two of us, we got 2 championship rings.
How many you got, Chuck?
We got 2
Back-to-back, too?
We got back-to-back.
In the same years.
Toronto wins at 111-109. They've won 8 in a row in their building. And their 4th 2-point win of the season for the Raptors, who are 34-13. Let's take a look at the East. So you got Milwaukee at 32-12. You got Toronto at 34-13.
All over to give a misinformation. Milwaukee got the best.
Percentage points right there. And then Indiana with the loss tonight at 29-15. Philly got their 30th win tonight. And what? Hold on. What did you just slap Jet for?
Don't worry. It's a long story, man.
Chris Middleton all-star too, so they got the best record.
You don't think Chris Middleton's all-star?
I'm asking, is it?
I
I'm
think
just
it's
asking a
going to be
question.
close. I like you.
I'll
You
say
know I
it's
like
going to be
Chris
close.
Middleton.
It's going to be close.
I
say
because
yes.
they got the best
I say
record.
yes. I say
would
yes.
take
He is
Chris
all-star.
Middleton.
Thank you.
All right.
Because they got the best.
I would take Chris Middleton.
Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton.
Yes, I would.
And you would take Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, I would.
Yes.
And that leaves you 8 spots.
Yep.
The rest of so you'd take Victor Oladipo probably.
Of course.
You'd take Embiid.
Without question. And I might take
Would
one
you
more.
take Jimmy Butler and Ben Simmons?
You're not taking 2 of them.
Well, who you
not?
taking?
You know, I'd take Ben Simmons.
I would take Ben Simmons as well.
And then you'd take Kyrie.
Yes.
Can you imagine Jimmy Butler in the All-Star game? He'd be really complaining about not getting shot.
Yeah, I mean, so there are a few more.
You think he complained about not getting shots in Philly? Imagine him playing the All-Star game. Y'all not pass the ball to me.
Does Brooklyn have an All-Star?
Dinwiddie.
You didn't think Dinwiddie before, but I'm still rolling with him.
There's 2 guys I'm pulling
still
for.
rolling with
I
him.
don't pull for guys, but Dinwiddie and Tobias Harris.
Yep.
I'm pulling for both of those guys to make the All-Star team. And give a shout out to Sean Marks.
Brooklyn at.
Sean Marks
Brooklyn
has
is
done a
7.
fantastic job in Brooklyn.
And Kemba's an All-Star.
Kemba's definitely an All-Star.
How many Pistons are All-Stars?
One, maybe Drummond.
Drummond over Blake? No. Oof. Well, it's up in the air.
It's going to be interesting.
Up in the air.
Because next week you're going to have your reserves ready because we're going to announce the All-Star starters next Thursday.
Drummond is a really good debate.
Vucevic an All-Star?
Who?
Vucevic.
Orlando?
Yeah.
He's close.
Is there another one?
Well, I'm not going to take him over Blake or DeAndre. I mean, Blake or Drummond.
Bradley Beal an All-Star?
Oof. It depends. Give me a week. Everything happens in a week. It's all good just a week ago.
Going to be interesting. So again, why were you slapping Jet? Look at this. Late in the highlight, and
I don't even know. I
didn't even
wasn't
phase you.
No, because he and I always do.
You want me to tell you what that face means, Ernie?
What?
It looked to me like Kenny farted. That's what that face looks like to me.
Please, somebody else come up with another theory.
Just saying.
There's got to be a better reason than that.
Oh, look,
no
look.
better reason.
Damn, boy, what you eat?
What you
Damn, man.
Like, what are you talking about?
Chuck, is that what it was?
I got a drive-by shooting over
Hey,
here.
but listen, whoever denies it supplies it. Whoever denies it supplies it.
Told you, Ernie.
You were right.
Yeah, I know I'm right.
Like, whoever
Damn, man, what the hell you eat over there?
Give me a warning next time. Give me a warning. Start a brush fire or something.
Around the NBA on this Thursday night, Joel Embiid, he is still listed as a game-time decision. Training table right now, courtside, being worked on, lower back tightness. He did participate in shoot-around, but unknown if he'll be able to play tonight against the Indiana Pacers. Let's bring in Jay Michael, who covers the Pacers for the Indy Star, friend of the program. Jay, Pacers come in, winners of 9 of their last 11, and Victor Oladipo talking about nobody respects us. Pulling an old Rodney Dangerfield, huh? What type of where is this coming from?
Well, I mean, they still don't, they kind of get mentioned as an afterthought. But again, you kind of expect that from a team that's in Indiana. He's actually even acknowledged that too. He said a lot of people don't see us as a big market. I get that. But, it's they continue to win. And even more so, I think they continue to win, even like a game against Phoenix the other night. They score 131 points, and Oladipo only had 8. So it's not just Oladipo and the new star power that he has brought with him. They're obviously getting it done in ways that doesn't require Oladipo to have breakout games every time. So and I think he wants to see some of his teammates, guys like Miles Turner and Thaddeus Young, get a little bit more shine.
Well, Victor has taken a little bit of a reduced role this year in the offense, but I think most would agree that's because others have been able to step up and complement him. How do you think that, plus the 11 games he's missed due to injury, will impact his ability to be selected as an All-Star?
I think the 11 games have a lot to do with it. Actually, in the most recent game against Phoenix, there was a break in the action. He was on the opposite court, other half of the court. Somebody was shooting a technical free throw. And you could see him going through some stretches in some quick sprints, testing out his knee. Now, after the game, he said he didn't have a problem with it. Asked Coach Nate McMillan, he said he didn't have any indications that Victor was having any more issues with soreness in that knee. But what the eye test said, not only by him doing that, but his jump shot looked incredibly flat in that game. He went 2 for 11, had a lot of good looks. It just never looked good, and I think it was more about his legs than it was anything else. So I think that's going to impact him heavily. But, this is going to be a test of how much stardom you really do have, because if you are truly a star, you can have a little bit of a down season. Think about some of the times that Carmelo Anthony made it, and he still made it. Why? Because he was just so popular among not only fans but coaches. You have that respect, and they give you the benefit of the doubt in these situations.
Hey, we only have 30 seconds here. Want to get your take on the improved play of Miles Turner, team 13-1 when he scores 15 or more.
Fantastic. They give up 118 points a game without him defensively. They hold teams to close to 100 with him. So it's not just offense. He's spacing the floor on offense. He's been great like that. But defensively, he's a game changer. He's a rim protector, and he helps cover a lot of busted coverages. It makes other guys look good.
Jay Michael from the Indy Star covering the Indiana Pacers tonight, who we'll see on TNT coming up at 7 Eastern against the 76ers. Jay, thanks for your time. Coming up next, the starters. Are the Warriors the most hated team in sports? And was Kyrie sending a coded message in his apology to LeBron? That's coming up in a couple of moments.
I had to call Bron, and tell him, I apologize for being that young player that wanted to everything at his fingertips, and I wanted everything to be at, my threshold. I wanted to be the guy that led us to championship. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted to be all that, and the responsibility of being the best player in the world and leading a team is something that's not meant for many people. And Bron was one of those guys that came to Cleveland and tried to really show us what it's like to win a championship, and it was hard for him.
Well, Kyrie has certainly done a lot of talking. Last night, before he talked again, he did some serious playing with his 27 points and career-high 18 assists to rally to beat the Raptors in a very big game for the Celtics, who snap a 3-game losing streak. Grant Hill, Jared Greenberg. Just the question here, though, with Kyrie is, why does he feel compelled to constantly bring up leadership as a topic for the public?
You know, I don't know, but it does surprise me that he's doing that. And, you know, a couple things. One, I mean, he was upset about that Orlando Magic game and came out and apologized, which I think demonstrates good leadership. I also don't mind him calling LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James is the best player in the world. You played together, you had great history, and you can apologize and learn from him and pull from him. But to broadcast that, to talk about it like he did, I don't like how that looks, in the sense that if I'm a young guy on the team, are you talking about me? Now, in all fairness to Kyrie Irving, who's a really good person, a smart guy.
A Duke guy,
the brotherhood. But you don't know what's going on in that locker room. You don't know if maybe he's had these discussions. Maybe he's told the guys, I talked to LeBron. Maybe he's told them, I'm going to talk public. I mean, you don't know what's happened in that regard. But I just, as someone who's been in the locker room, as someone who's been a leader in the locker room, you know, there's certain things that you just keep to yourself, or you keep in the locker room. And so talking about all of that, I just don't like that sort of, you know, subtle backhand, just a little jab that you take at some of the guys. And so, but, you know, he is as great a player as he is, and he's a closer in the finals. Right. He's learning how to become a leader, much like LeBron learned to become that leader that he is now.
Right, interesting. We got plenty more to do on Game Time Live, presented by Kia. 10 before tip style. Grant Hill, Jared Greenberg, Joel Embiid. We're monitoring his status as he plays on TNT. Plus, we've got a change to the starting lineup for the Toronto Raptors. Kyle Lowry will play. We'll get you up to speed next.
I think from my angle of watching the replay, I want to go watch. I haven't watched it again. I was peeking over their shoulder. It kind of looked like it started just on its tick down. I thought Zoe made a heck of a play, but we had a breakdown in coverage. That was supposed to be a switch, and we didn't switch, and we paid for it.
Okay, here's a couple of updates tonight around the NBA. Still waiting on Joel Embiid's status. We've just learned Wilson Chandler, dealing with an illness, will be able to play. Kawhi out with rest. This has changed. Kyle Lowry will play tonight and start. Fred VanVleet gets the start alongside Lowry and Danny Green with Kawhi out. There is talk in Toronto tonight against the Suns that Patrick McCaw could make his Raptor debut. Meanwhile, LeBron James still out the next at least 2 games. We take you courtside and take a look at De'Aaron Fox here. Grant, I tell you, this has been a lot of fun having you on this 10 before tip edition of Game Time Live, presented by Kia.
I tell you, this might be my favorite show on NBA TV. Jared, thanks for having me on. But De'Aaron Fox, what a talented young player. So much improvement from last year. Fun to watch. Be a great matchup against Kemba Walker.
It's been a lot of fun. I don't know if we're on camera or not. Ooh, I got the fist pump from you there. So the starters coming up here in a couple of moments, top of the hour. I'll be back with Kenny Smith for Game Time Live, leading into the TNT doubleheader coming up at 6:30 Eastern. Grant, thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. Here come the starters.